Hi guys, it's John from 7-Bit Arcade and I am joined by Darren Smallman from Battle Worldwide Recordings. How are you doing today?
Very good, sir.
Yeah, I'm very good as well. So I'm going to ask, you've a pass around your neck, like I have a pass around my neck. The dickhead pass, as I like to call it, because you can walk past people doing this and everybody hates you. What brings you to Great Escape with that around your neck?
Basically, come down to have a look around. It's my first time down here, so the record label's only new. I did run a record label in Australia for 10 years before I came across here, and basically just down to have a look around, see some bands, meet some people, hang about, have a few beers probably.
Brand new record label?
Yes, started in August last year.
August last year, based in Australia?
I was in Tunbridge Wells. I'm a UK resident these days, so a UK based label this time.
UK based label?
Yeah, we've got bands from all over the world. We've got Co-Pilgrim and Empty Pools from England, UK, and we have Young Things from New York City, and a couple of other bands like Black Level Embassy and Margins from Australia.
So for those that aren't familiar with those bands, what kind of styles are there? Is there a sort of style that the label adheres to, or is it anything and everything?
Anything and everything. It's a bit of everything. Like, so Black Level from Australia is a sort of like an angular sort of rock band. I just finished touring with Shellac and the Mark Kane. Then you got sort of folk pop like Pilgrim. Empty Pools are sort of a bit more of a Thrill Jockey X type sort of angular bands. Anything that's basically good but mainly alternative, really.
So what made you decide last year to set up your own record label after being at one for a decade?
Basically missed it. So the last company closed down when I moved across, and I basically So I actually put together some CDs of my old bands from years and years ago, and actually missed the process of releasing and putting records out as to the general public, and thought, well, no, I'm going to start another one. Be a glutton for punishment and get back into the game.
Is it something that you always kind of wanted to do, to work in the industry like this?
It just started out that way. I started playing in pubs when I was 15 in Melbourne in Australia, and started doing merchandise ourselves, and sort of started putting on gigs for other bands that we knew and ourselves, and before you knew it I started releasing records for other people, and here I am, broke 25 years later. Still running a record label. Starting a new. Yeah. Like exciting? It's good. It's exciting. Of course it's exciting. Us arts workers love being broke.
So it's first time at Great Escape?
Yes, it is the first time at the Great Escape. First time at any of the entry festivals. I haven't been across the southwest either, but it's a great festival so far. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot. There's a lot to cram in. There's stuff everywhere.
Who are you excited to see?
Who am I catching up with? Let's see. Who am I seeing today? I'm totally blank. I'm seeing Kid Wave tomorrow night, which I'm excited to see. Who else am I seeing later on today? We're Evergreen later on today. They're quite good. I'm trying to think. It's too many bands to remember. My memory's not that good.
So all the kind of the little guys and stuff that you're kind of going to see, is anybody? I mean, there's a couple of bigger bands that are kind of like Claxons are turning up. What do you think of bigger bands like that turning up at little festivals like this?
Well, I suppose it's good for the general public and for the awareness of the festival. I suppose if you had sort of all just new bands, you probably wouldn't get the numbers potentially that you might get. So it's good to have those people here to maybe pull other people in, to encourage people who wouldn't see new music to see new music. So it's worth it, I think.
Think you check any of them out, or are you just here just for the little guys? Yeah.
I'm here to see the ones I like, and not that I don't like the bigger ones, but I'm here to see the little guys.
Champions of the little guys.
Oh yeah.
Is that that's sort of what your label wants to be, a champion of the little guys?
Yeah, well, no, we love making money too, but I've always sort of stood by, we don't work with bands unless we love them, and the majority of stuff we love is usually the smaller, more alternative type sort of bands and releases. So we always tend to find ourselves in a position where we're working with those sorts of artists, which is great. I mean, I work across multiple fields. I work in the theatre as well, so promoting art throughout that. So it's all about promoting new work to the general public in the industry.
Is it quite an intense process to be signed to Battle?
No, kind of, yes.
A little bit?
It's really, again, just sort of starting out, so we're really all just finding our feet. All the bands on it are relatively new, a couple of sort of older, longer sort of standing artists, but in general we're all just sort of finding our feet and working out how the sort of industry is changing as well, because it's an ever-evolving market these days, and it's quite, I think everyone's sort of scrambling around to find out how to make it work. So yeah, it's an interesting time to be sort of getting back into it for sure.
Especially with the age of the internet and stuff as well.
Yeah. That and sort of merchandise and all sorts of stuff that's sort of becoming new sort of revenue streams for companies and artists alike. So in certain respects, it's going back to that sort of old school sort of sort of 80s, 90s type sort of garage band sort of things. Everyone's having to do merchandise, and everyone's having to be a lot more hands-on and active with their fans than what they've had to be over the last decade or so. I think it's quite an interesting time to be involved. It's a very hands-on time to be involved in the industry.
So is it weird that these days, working as a regular, there's less emphasis these days on printing CDs and getting them out and things like that, and there's more focus on that sort of being hands-on? Is it weird? Is it uncomfortable, or is it?
It's not uncomfortable. It is weird because I suppose when I first started sort of releasing records, it was very much the other way around. So I'm learning as much as everyone else is learning. I think it's quite exciting actually. I mean, I'm a designer as well, and I love producing, sort of all sorts of types of things. So it's great to actually have that ability to be able to say, well, actually, let's try and do some interesting packaging for this rather than a stock standard CD, and let's produce a T-shirt pack type sort of thing, which is all the sort of stuff that we're looking at doing. So it's it really sort of you can do as much as your imagination lets you to do, really. So it's quite good, I think.
So more than anything, it's an exciting time to be part of the industry.
Yes,
more than anything.
I say so.
Would you have it back to the old way of people buying CDs, going to see them, maybe buying a T-shirt, and then them sort of retaining that allure of being untouchable and unreachable?
Everything's got to evolve. So I think it's fine the way it is. It was fine the way it was back 10 years ago, and it's fine the way it is now. I think it's it's a good progression. I think it's an exciting progression. Obviously, it's always. I think that a lot of the time the bigger companies struggle with the change, but I think a lot of like with the last business I ran, we ended up a lot of small labels got a lot of work and a lot of artists because the big companies couldn't manage the work and couldn't change, evolve, and all the small companies did. So I think that is again another very good thing about the whole process, because all these small companies are starting to get to work with bigger artists and bigger chains and bigger companies in order to do smaller things, which is good for everyone.
Exactly. Well,
yeah.
Second time a part of the industry, an exciting place to be, a great escape.
Indeed.
Dad, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks.